Hey, Star Trek debuted 59 years ago tonight, September 8th, 1966. So for the occasion, let's take a look at this Star Trek comic I got not too long ago at a convention, I think, or a comic store. I don't know, I got it real cheap, like 50 cents or something like that. This is Dynabrite issue 11358. It is a Whitman Comics reprint of the Star Trek Gold Key comic series, in particular 2 issues. A Bomb in Time, which was issue 36 from March of 1976, and The Psycho Crystals, which was issue 34 from October of 1975. This Dynabrite classic came out in 1978. As you can see here, this has an amazing cover by the one and only George Wilson. This is the cover to A Bomb in Time. Unfortunately, they do not include the George Wilson painted cover to The Psycho Crystals. Inside, you have your story by Arnold Drake with art by Alberto Giolitti, and the crew of the original Star Trek Enterprise is on an alien world where you have living crystals. And they get captured, they're going to be put to death, they wear these weird backpacks, they're knocking each other out, just like any regular episode of Star Trek. There is a crystal man who wears a Native American headband with feather. That is so goofy. And this double page spread is my favorite. I love this illustration as they're going to the underground city of the hippie crystal men, who sit around playing songs, painting pictures, and reciting poetry. But they do want to kill the crew of the Enterprise. Spock is coming to save the day. The Crystal Men are attacked by the Crystal Dragon. This just doesn't seem as cool as Crystar, the Crystal Warrior. Captain Kirk figures out how to save them all. Oops, I flipped too fast. And he convinces the Crystal people to let them go if he does so, which he does, and the end. Now the next story, as you can see, we missed the cover with no painted cover. Gosh dang it. In this one, the crew of the Enterprise has to travel back in time to chase after somebody who created a bomb who is going to set it off in the past. Except the time machine is caught between 1855 and 1955. So Scotty and McCoy go back to 1855, the Old West. But we don't see McCoy. We just see Scotty, and they keep talking about this mysterious doctor who's also there, but he never does find him. Kirk and Spock travel back to 1955, but they think they're in ancient Rome. They're actually on a movie set where Kirk gets mistaken for a stuntman, and you're bouncing back and forth through time. It's weird because I don't think you see Spock in 1955 either. It's weird. You just kind of follow the story of one of them. The other one is, I don't know, traveled back with them, but you never see them? Oh, I see. Spock didn't travel back with him. Did McCoy travel back with Scotty? Because he keeps talking about him, but they eventually get the bomb, travel back to the ship, and they never did find McCoy, and they don't even bring him up anymore. So, whatever. There was only one other issue of the Dynabrite series. It was the previous issue, number 11357, right here, which reprinted the Gold Key Comics issues 41, The Evictors, and 33, The Choice, utilizing the fantastic George Wilson painted cover from issue 41. Now, the Gold Key Star Trek comic series lasted 61 issues, starting in July of 1967, only a year into the 3-season series run. And it lasted until March of 1979, making way for the Star Trek The Motion Picture. Half of the series or so has been reprinted in these archive editions. This is the 5th one, which I got in 2016. I picked it up at a Fanboy Expo convention in Orlando. It had this special cover just for the convention, 50th anniversary, 9 years ago, convention exclusive. Doesn't show up. Maybe I can get a glare going. Well, it's gold lettering. Sorry if you can't see it. And I didn't realize it at the time that it was volume 5 because it had this special cover. But I figured, hey, you know what? I'll get it and I can go back and get volumes 1 through 4 and continue on from there. This reprints issues 25 through 28 then it skips 29, and then it's got issues 30 and 31. It skips 29 because 29 was just a reprint of issue 1. Well, I can go back and get volumes 1 through 4, which I plan to do, but they never made another volume, so the final 30 issues have not been reprinted. I wonder if they're expensive to track down and get. Well, you know what? I'll work on getting the first 4 volumes, but you can see here these great painted covers. You know, speaking of George Wilson, I pre-ordered the Art of George Wilson hardcover book years ago. I still haven't got it. I remember at some point, I believe last year, I canceled my pre-order and then I ordered it through my comic store because they always give me a discount and I want to give my local business service for all of my reading material. I still haven't got it from him. Well, you know what? Right before recording this, I looked it up on Amazon and guess what? It just came out 6 days ago. So I was at the comic store 6 days ago. If it came out 6 days ago, maybe it was shipped. Maybe it's waiting for me when I get there after work tomorrow. We will see. If not, I'm going to put it into my Amazon cart. Now, 7 years after the debut of Star Trek came the debut of the Star Trek animated series, 52 years ago tonight, or this morning. I don't know when that cartoon aired, during the day or at night, whatever, but that was the Star Trek animated series, which featured the original cast doing the voices, and same writers doing episodes, some sequels. It's a great series. You know what else was an animated series that debuted on that exact same day, September 8th, 1973? The Super Friends! Now, here's one more thing that was captured on film on this day in history. September 8th, 1894, that would be 131 years ago, Thomas Edison himself, who has his Edison home here in Fort Myers, Florida, filmed the very first boxing match. Cool, right? So before I let you go, here is a photo I took yesterday of my 30 long boxes full of bagged and boarded comic books. And then this picture shows the black plastic cases where I store my special comics. And here I'm showing a few of them to you. Now I got one more picture. This picture was taken exactly 10 years ago today. It was the first professional modeling photograph ever taken of me when I signed with my modeling agent. And it has been my YouTube profile picture ever since. So the picture here on YouTube of me has been around 10 years ago to this day. Until next time.